Insights channel, Steve here, and Happy New Year to everybody. Now being the 3rd of January, and this is a new video, well, audio visual, that's what I call it, because it's audio with some pictures in the background. Who knows, maybe one of these days I will start making videos. We've got some pretty important stuff to talk about today for this year, New Year of 2025. And the title of this one is about, well, different things. It's about the fog, the new phenomenon in the US, and apparently others have said not just in the US. The question is, what is going on? I'm trying to get a grip on this. First of all, we had those drones in about at least 6 states in the United States, and also in England around US military bases, and then we had some orbs that I went into before. So first of all, we had the drones and the UFO invasion, if you want to put that. And now we got this fog, lingering fog, very strange fog. I'm trying to look at videos that people have made, and I must admit, very odd fog. A fog which apparently smells very bad and like sulphur, at least in some reports. That's not a good sign. You know why? As sulphur is associated with the underworld. In fact, you can, in my first book, I do suggest strongly you do get my books on the paranormal and the supernatural out the bottomless pit, books 1 and 2, because I cover this exact topic back in 2014. Because there's nothing new under the sun. What you hear reported has happened before. Yes. Is this supposed to be the thrill of a Hollywood movie? You know, drones and UFOs followed by the fog. Sounds scary, doesn't it? I know, I'm laughing because it's almost like a joke, and yet I suppose for those who are actually in that sort of situation, seeing those things, it's not a joke. Unfortunately, we've got blue skies here, and it's very cold, sub-zero, and the snows are coming in. But at least we don't have fog. I think I once saw that movie about the fog. It wasn't not nice. There were creatures lingering inside the fog, waiting to attack people or something. Well, God forbid there should be any reality to the current fog situation in the States, although people, from the reports I've seen so far, headaches, all kind of sickness. That's what's been reported. And also people are saying they think it's not a real fog, but it's geoengineering. It's sad to hear. All I can suggest for people is to really be on your prayer bones right now in the US, especially in the states where, like Florida and Texas and up north, where you're getting this problem with lingering fogs for days on end. And that can be annoying. It's bad enough when it rains every day for a week, but having lingering fog for weeks on end, that does not sound like fun. So I'll say here again, is this supposed to be the thrill of a Hollywood movie? Drones, UFOs, then this mysterious fog. What's going to happen next? There definitely seems to be some very strange going on in the US these days, and that's all. I've also heard of really bad earthquakes down there in California, and out in the ocean you got something going on there. They're afraid of a massive volcanic eruption this year. And I was just looking at it today. They can tell because the whole of the undersea is coming up. You can tell it's about to blow up. That's what scientists say. Where have we heard and seen these kind of things before if it was not in some sci-fi or horror movie like Close Encounters or The Fog? Now, there are some fantastic links. I'm going to give you the videos, the links to really good stuff I've looked at already and studied. I will not put any links out there that I have not looked at myself to make sure I know it's got some good content or it's got a point to it. This first link I put up here is excellent. This guy knows his stuff, very good. I think that's on X. And I also will be reporting on X because I do have an X account, and I'm going to start reporting and I'm going to just tell it like it is on whatever topic. See how long I last on X channel. Anyway, I do recommend that video. That first one I put there is about geoengineering, and he talks well about the fog, and he gets evidence from people all over the states of how it affects them. Like I said, some have mentioned it got a really bad smell and it makes them ill. Others say it doesn't smell anything. And here's something just came in here, I just noticed. This video here says, there's nothing natural about the global fog phenomenon. Remember that, now he's actually a very good writer, this guy, a very good writer. Remember that from 1949 to 1969, the US military used fog to experiment with biological warfare, using Americans as guinea pigs. And that's from, there's nothing natural about this global fog phenomenon. Now here's a verse from the Bible. What does God say to his people in such crazy situations like, I don't know if it's still happening there, because how can you see if there's any drones or UFOs anymore when you've got fog? Of course, I'd like to know what areas have got the fog. I'd like to know what areas people are still seeing these drones and UFOs. It's difficult to get enough information like that, but I'd have to have people report from the states, from different states, what they see, what they notice at the present time. It would be very helpful to know. So do make comments, do write in, do tell us. But this is what the Bible suggests to people. In a time like it currently is, if you're unsure about things, it says, come my people, enter thou into thy chambers, shut thy doors about thee, hide thyself, as it were, for a little moment, until the indignation be overpast. That's Isaiah 65:20. So if you're not sure of the situation, you feel uncertain, well, I'd get on my prayer bones and pray, and then I'd also ask myself, is it safe where I am right now? What if this fog isn't just a fog? What if it's something poisonous? What if it's, it's very difficult, especially for the elderly, but sometimes if you feel you've got another choice, so we've got relatives living in another state or something, we feel for the time being might be better for your lungs or for your health, because I'm hearing too many reports about people getting really unwell. I'd like that to be verified from people, though, that I know in the States. If you can just let me know what's happening, what's going on in the different states. What have you noticed in the last... Actually, the whole thing with the drones and UFO apparently started on the 13th November, which I think is very suspicious, because that's just 8 days after everybody voted Donald Trump in as the next president. It almost seems like a reaction to his getting elected in when it started. The drones and UFOs started about 8 days later. Personally, I think the drones and UFO is like a drastic reaction from the negative spirit world. They don't like what's going on. They don't like the idea of a change with Donald Trump. They don't like the idea of all the bad things they've been doing the last 4 years under Biden is going to get kicked out. It looks like that's what they're afraid of, and therefore they're starting to put on a show and show off and stuff, and followed by a nasty fog for whatever reason. I don't know. I'm hypothesizing here what is really going on. But anyway, I know some people have said, well, stay indoors. I have said this before. Personally, I've seen UFOs on 5 different occasions, real UFOs, close range, pretty close range. But on 2 occasions, I didn't like it. Had a bad effect on me. I even got really ill, I think, on 2 occasions. On 1 occasion, I know it was good UFOs, and that was a beautiful occasion. I saw that with 3 of our kids too. That was many years ago. But in general, I like to stay away from UFOs just because it's caused me to get ill. So I think this verse here, that's what I'm putting here. Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, shut thy doors about thee, hide thyself, as it were, for a little moment, until the indignation be overpast, whatever it is. And that's Isaiah 26:20. In my book, in one of my books, well, I've written 11 books now, working on the 12th, in one of my books, actually the first book, Out the Bottomless Pit, some of the above is also mentioned. Beings, demons underground that smell like sulphur. And see my book, from 2014, Out the Bottomless Pit. And note, that book has some scary parts. It's not for the squeamish, that's for certain. But it is very educational. And it reveals a lot of things the military does know, the government does know, and others that they try to hide from everybody. And the shenanigans they've been up to for a long, long time. Here's another very good verse that Jesus said there in the Gospel of Luke 21:26. Men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. It sounds like we're getting very late in time by what's happening. There's a lot of weather anomalies, and I also heard another one about magnetic electrical anomalies happening as well. And the latest one coming up now, we've heard that on New Year's Eve, I just got this today, that 3 of the main buildings in New York just got struck by lightning. Unbelievable. It's very obvious that the globalists plan to totally control weather, and actually they stated that by the year 2025 they'll totally control all the weather all over the world. Well, that's their boast. Through weather modification using chemtrails and other methodology. And like I said, I just heard that the US main landmarks were hit by lightning on New Year's Eve. It says bolts of electricity hit the US Capitol and Empire State Building on the final day of 2024, fueling social media buzz. And the US landmarks hit by lightning. Wow. The US Capitol, World Trade Center, Empire State Building were all struck by lightning tonight on the final evening of 2024. Feels like an omen. And somebody asked the question, I wonder what God is telling us. Well, I think that's a very, very good question, and I think especially for the Western world, I think it's a very, very good question. I'd like to know, is America safe? Is Donald Trump actually going to be able to get inaugurated on the 20th of January? Or is it going to be lots of funny business? Or are they going to try and get rid of him before he can even be inaugurated? Well, I'm praying for Donald Trump's safety, so is my wife. We're praying that the people will be honoured, as the vast majority of people obviously voted for Trump to get in, and I can understand the people. They're tired of all the shenanigans that have been going on the last 4 years, and who can blame them? And a new start will be great, and that's about the only start they can have. A new start is having Trump in power. It's already set up. I do pray that Trump will not lean to his pro-Israel aspirations, as it's okay being pro-Israel, but with Netanyahu as the guy in charge, it's not a good time. It's not a good time because that guy's, it's very sad what's happened there in Gaza. It's very, very sad with the deaths of so many people. But just pray God will have his perfect will with Donald Trump being able to be inaugurated on the 20th of January without any more crazy shenanigans or crazy weather or UFO attack or drone attack or whatever other things that could possibly happen, like severe weather in the United States. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. And I want to make you aware that I'm now posting articles regularly on my new website, which now has a brand new blog on it. That's the first thing you see now when you go on my website. And that website again is www.insightspublication.com. And you go on there and you're going to find everything about my books and how to get them, how to order the books. We will be putting a lot more stuff on the new website this year of 2025, God willing. And I would again encourage people, do get hold of my books, starting with Out of the Bottomless Pit 1 and 2 about the paranormal, supernatural, and dig into all the details of what's really going on behind the scenes on this planet. I think you'll find it fascinating, interesting, and very educational. And I would say this to people, I think it's important to know what's going on, not to just bury your head in the sand and pretend nothing's happening, as so many seem to do. A lot of people have the attitude, oh, well, I don't know what's going on because I'm living my own life and I want to just imagine everything's the way I want it to be. Wrong move. I think it's essential for every Christian to know what's going on, a bit like Nehemiah on the wall. You've got enemies outside and you've got all kind of difficulties, but you've got to know what's going on around you to some extent. You don't have to do it to the extent I do, but at least know something. Know what's dangerous, what to be leery of, and how to stay positive by digging into your Bible every day and encouraging your soul every day. That I would always encourage people to do. I try to do that with my books. My books are study books, and they're books that are backed up by the Bible. 9 of them are based on apocryphal books, and 2 are based on paranormal, supernatural, also the Bible, and also apocryphal books. So I pray that you will get hold of my books. You've got Out the Bottomless Pit, books 1 and 2. Then you've got the Ancient Hebrew book of Jasher. My book is Jasher Insights, book 1 and 2. Then you've got the Ancient Hebrew book of Jubilees. Then you've got Eden Insights, based on the lost books Adam and Eve. Then you've got the Testament of 12 Patriarchs Insights, based on the Testament of 12 Patriarchs, which was written 3,500 years ago. Oh, I asked you to go on my website, my new website. Go on the website, www.insightspublication.com. Go to the blog in there and see my article on the Library at Alexandria. Very important for people to know those foundation truths. They're also in my books. I'm going to start putting foundation truths on my website. Why? Because these are key history points, key things that happened in history that if you don't know about, you don't know the truth about certain important things. And so please go on my website. You'll find some of the articles are like key foundation stones about scripture, about history, science, and what's happening. So I'll be writing from A to Z on my website, try and write 3 articles per week from now on. I've just done the first 3, I'm working on the 4th one, just started a week ago. So anyway, thanks for listening. And like I said, Happy New Year to everybody. Have a great year. And remember, it doesn't matter what's going on around you in this world, it doesn't matter how crazy it gets, we have Jesus, we have the King of Kings on our side. We have prayer on our side. So we've got nothing to be afraid of. In fact, you can use all you know to your advantage, like being in a football game. So thanks for listening. Bye for now.